Bella, the maker, I'm a boss lady behind Bella's Custom Crochets, and this is episode 18 of my podcast. I'm mostly a crochet I am a crochet designer. This is mostly a crochet podcast. There's a little bit of knitting in there, and if you're just joining us for the first time, us being me and the internet, thank you for being here. And if you have come back, I really appreciate that you did so. You're all very welcome. First and foremost, we're going to announce the giveaway winner for the 100K. We're now at 1,200 something, which is really exciting. But we hit 100K a couple episodes back, and I have a whole bucket full of giveaway goodies, and I've already drawn a winner, so I will announce that a little bit later after we talk about the whips and the finished objects and whatnot. So we'll get right down to business. Everything that I talk about is going to be linked. I'm doing show notes on my blog now, so that will be linked down below, bellascustomcrochets.com/blog. And yeah, everything that I mention, you'll be able to find over there. I try and be really diligent about that. So without further ado, let's talk about what I've been making. So what I am wearing is the Forgotten Lore shawl. This shawl is now out. I've talked about it pretty extensively on the podcast already if you go back a couple episodes. So I'll drop in one little picture here so you can see me wearing it, because it's hard to tell how glorious it is, but I will also link and put a little card in for you for the Forgotten Lore Shawl pattern drop. This came out yesterday as of when I'm recording, but Labor Day. And it is a lace weight, dragon wing shaped, beautiful purple. Make it whatever color you want. It's got these really pretty ridge details. Tell you all about it in the pattern drop video, and there's a blog post for that too, so you can jump on over there if you'd like to know more about it. But I was absolutely blown away by you guys reception of this pattern. It was my 20th pattern, which was already a really big deal for me, just as a personal goal, and it has been my best pattern release to date, which was really exciting, and I was kind of surprised by, honestly. Not because I don't think it's a great and beautiful shawl, but it was a design that kind of happened by accident, because I meant to design a sweater in this yarn, and I've talked about it before, but I wanted to design a sweater, and I misread the label, and I didn't have enough yarn, but I really liked the motif, and I was like, well, I have to make something now. So I made the shawl, and it turned out really, 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 really awesome, and I love it, and this color is just my absolute favorite, and I feel like it makes my eyes look really good, especially when I do that, right? So if you would like to grab this pattern, head on over to that video, watch for everything that you're going to need to know, and there's lots of tester photos and goodness to get you started. Thank you for loving this shawl. I really appreciate it. I'm going to try and wear it for the extent of this video, but we've established before my office is the only room without air conditioner. And I didn't even open the window this time because I didn't want it to be loud, and I can't turn on the fan, and it's kind of sweltering in here even though it's September. It was high 80s today. Why? Today is September 8th or something, 2020. But yeah, I'm ready for the fall weather. I want to wear all the things, the fall things. I put on all of my, not all, but a lot of my patterns yesterday, and I did a little, I call it fake TikTok. I do not like TikTok. But Instagram does like reels now, and I'm too old. I am too old for that stuff, guys. Like, I know some of you are killing it on the videos, but no, too old for that. I tried, and it was kind of shameful. But I put on a bunch of my patterns because I was doing a 20% off sale. It's over by the time you're seeing this video. I'm sorry if you missed it. But I was dancing around in all of my fall makes, and it just made me want to wear shawls. So I'm going to wear this for as long as I can, and eventually we might just be a boring gray t-shirt. So that is my most recent pattern release, pattern drop design. I have some other things in the works. I guess we'll file them under works in progress, designs. I don't really know what this section is called, but do you really care? It doesn't really matter. So actually I might take this off so I can show you these other two. Because up next I am working on a cowl pattern. It is going to be a cowl pattern that includes two versions, and you're gonna have to let me know if the name is crazy. It's a little bit Dr. Seuss, a little bit Stephen West, and I can't decide if either of those things are my brand, but ends aren't woven in yet, but you'll be okay. Look at this bad boy. I talked about it, I think last episode. I was swatching and I wasn't sold on the herringbone with the marling. I am sold on the herringbone with the marling. Look at it! Look at how good it is. So I'm considering calling this. We're not going to put it on the screen because I've done that before and we've had to change it so many times. but I am considering, I'll comment below if it's crazy, calling this the herring tone, because of the different tones, Marla-day, like a marling holiday. If that's not a Stephen Westy name, I don't know what is. But yeah, basically when I was making this, and I wasn't sure if the colors went together, and I was like, is that too much? Should I have the herringbone and the marling? It was like Stephen West was standing over me. I have no relationship with Stephen West. He doesn't know who I am. I've never even made any of his patterns. I just know who he is. Yeah, he's always like, more is more. And marl all the things. So yeah, this is my marled rainbow just because I want it to be. But it's going to be written to be marled in, this is, okay, hang on, let me gather my thoughts here. So these yarns were 25 man skeins, oh my goodness, 25 gram mini skeins. I'm not going to bother showing you all the tags because I got them from an Etsy shop. She's Maruma Yarns, and I believe she's out of Latvia, might have been Lithuania. She'll be tagged in the show notes, but I believe she's a reseller of yarn because she has a whole bunch of stuff in her shop that isn't her own yarn, and she hand dyes as well, so it's kind of a mix. So I'm not sure if she's like an online yarn shop or what she calls herself, but the yarns itself are, ooh, I should have written it down because it's wordy. They're Donegal tweed, parentheses, Kilcara, soft merino tweed, Donegal, Kilcara, soft merino tweed, something like that. It's Donegal tweed from Ireland. And I believe, my guess is that she was getting these yarns in either cones or large quantities because she had the option that you could buy it in a cone, a skein, a hank, 100 gram, 50 gram, or 25 gram. So I got some 25 gram minis back in the winter, and with the idea of creating either a shawl or a cowl with all of the minis. I love these colors. Other than this green, which I wish was on like this color green, these are like all of my ideal color palettes. This saturated rainbow with charcoal gray. Absolutely love the colors, but I don't know, maybe it's that I think it's woolen spun, which means the fibers aren't all going the same direction. Worsted spun is what I'm more used to, where the fibers have all been combed the same way. I'm pretty sensitive, but this was listed as soft merino, which, you know, merino I usually have no problem with, superwash or not, merino, fine merino. All the merinos are friends with me. We are friends, me and the merinos. It's getting weird. And obviously it has some Donegal in it, as the tweedy bits, I believe. But this is not, I can't wear this cowl. I love these colors so much. I will put it on for you for a minute. Oh boy, my hair is gonna... Also, I chopped off at least half of my hair last week, and I'm full of regret. Because now I feel like I kind of look like a handsome brother. Which, you know, isn't a bad problem. They were pretty good looking for young men, but... This is... Okay. So this is the cowl. It's so beautiful, and I love it, but it's so edgy. It's so edgy. So this, once I get all the pictures and everything done, I think this is gonna go live with Emily of EML Fiber Art. She's the Rambling, I think it's the Rambling Yarn. A Rambling Yarn? Sorry, I'm on YouTube. But her birthday's in October, so she might be getting a cowl, and I already told her that, so whatever. But apparently she likes woolly scratchy things. I want to like woolly scratchy things, but I'm a little baby. I just love how this looks. I love how the rainbow looks when it's all scrunched up together. But it's going to be written for either, I had thought I was doing a mini skein pattern, but because they were 25 gram minis, which isn't as common as a 10 or a 20 gram mini, it might be more of a scrappy pattern. The rainbow parts, you can definitely get away with a 20 gram mini, but the grays, because I used, this is the same gray, that's the same gray, that's the same gray, and then the edges are another gray. So there's 4 grays basically, and then the 6 rainbow colors. You would either need to get additional shades of gray or do like one solid background color with the marlin. I don't know. You're not gonna be able to get away with 25 gram minis, I don't think, unless you play some serious yarn chicken. I used almost all of them. The other iffy bit was just that this yarn is listed as a fingering weight, but it's definitely more towards sport, which I think may also be because of the the woolen spun. This has already been blocked, so it floofed up a bunch, but the yarn gets, like, that looks nothing like fingering weight right there. That's 2 held double. I don't know if I can even split them apart. They like felted each other together. There we go. It's definitely thicker than your average sock yarn. So I'm gonna have some adjustments in the pattern as far as gauge and how you can make this work for what yarn you have on hand. But basically you're gonna marl together. You could easily change the height. And the only part that stitch count really matters is this last little edgy bit. But if you're not into Stephen West style herringbone, well, you still have to be into herringbone, but marling in all of his crazy colors, you can obviously do whatever color scheme you want, but I like rainbow always. I also did a worsted weight version, because if you're holding 2 fingering weight yarns together, you're going to get roughly a DK to light worsted. And mine were a little closer to worsted because, again, sport weight. But this is a more readily available yarn. This is Lion Brand Jeans in the colorway Top Stitch, and you can see the herringbone really nicely in this. This one is keeping, this I'm keeping for me because it's not scratchy. This is 100% acrylic. It's stuck in my bobby pins. Oh my goodness. I tried to make my hair look good, but well, maybe we'll wear this for the rest of the time. This is a mess. Sweaty, at least for now. I realized I did the top edge in the wrong hook size, so I need to rip that back and redo it based on what I used for this one. But I really, really like this as a cowl design, and I feel like this could definitely be unisex as well. And probably definitely youth size. I don't think it would fit a child, and I always get iffy about doing like baby cowls and whatever because I don't want to be responsible for somebody baby stuck in a cowl. That scares me. So yeah, definitely adult size, unisex, fits over my head with plenty of room. Unless I have bobby pins in, but it would definitely fit a guy as well. So I'm going to be working on this. I started writing it up today. I don't know what I'm going to do, test or call. I have some other design stuff in the works, but definitely for the later fall. Let's see, maybe end of October. I'll keep you posted. For now, I'm just going to work on writing it up. I kind of whipped them up really fast in between the shawl release and then waiting for the yarn that I'm going to talk about in a second. So yes, these are my. Comment below, herringtone marle-a-day, crazy, fun, what would you call this? Tell me, people. But either, regardless of what I'm calling it, I'm very excited about it. I really like the herringbone stitch. It took me a tiny minute to get the hang of it, but I think I got it down. And I will definitely do a video tutorial as well as a photo tutorial. It's just a 2-row repeat. It just gets a little fiddly on row 2, but doable. Doable. These were the swatches. I kind of like those 2 together as well. So there'll be a worstedy DK. I think Lion Brand Jeans is closer to a light worsted, but yeah, there'll be some options in the pattern for either using up scraps or advent calendars, which you won't have by October, but you know, very excited about all the designs. I'm on a real designing kick, guys. I hit 20 patterns, and that just feels like it's a big deal. I'm not a toot my own horn kind of person, but as somebody who didn't think that they could design patterns and basically has a minor anxiety attack every time I go to release a pattern that like, oh my goodness, this is not good enough, everyone's going to hate it, and I probably did all of the math wrong, even though it's been tested and tech edited. Slight panic attack every time. And I don't know if that's that imposter syndrome or whatever, but I just don't feel like I have any business selling people my designs, but apparently you guys like them and do okay. So it's really encouraging that you guys like me. All right, we're getting cheesy. So I've been saying for several episodes, hang on, I gotta dig some things out here and we'll take a sip of tea too, because I've been just rambling on. And I got those down little fuzzies in my throat. I've been saying for several podcasts that I have been waiting for this yarn. She was dyeing it in large quantity for me, and with COVID and everything else, it took a little bit. But did I not grab the swatches? The swatches. They're on the kitchen table. I'll have to go get them in a minute. I will go get them now. This collab has been a long time coming. This is actually the design that I thought I was going to make out of this yarn with this motif in it. Can you even see that? That guy. Originally I was swatching for a sweater, like I said, with that Shibui purple yarn, and that just did not work out because I realized it was going to cost like, I forget what the math, I think it was like $1,000 or something insane for the amount of yarn that I would need in that Shibui to make this particular sweater design. So that got scrapped. But I had been in contact with Christine. I'm blanking. It's Christine, right? Yes, let me check. I have a note. Yes, that was shameful. I'm sorry. I panicked for a minute. Christine, Treasure Goddess. Don't look at me. Treasure Goddess Yarns. Her label is tricky to see because it wraps around, but Treasure Goddess Yarn. And she is like a mutual, one of those like Kevin Bacon, long distance, whatever degrees of separation relationships. She's a friend of my husband's step aunt. It is complicated. But she was somebody that I had been in touch with, and she was like, if you want to do a collab, I'm here for it, let me know. So when this sweater design was mulling around in my mind, she came to mind for yarn support for it. And what I really love, besides the fact that her yarn is very lovely, all of her colorways are based more or less on pirates. So I don't know if you saw, her logo is this adorable little sheepy pirate. I don't know if he has a name. He should have a name. Does he have a name, Christine? But this colorway is Ghost Ship. But all of her yarns are like Siren Song, Why is the Rum Gone, stuff up Copper Cove. So just all pirate, nautical. I think she has some mermaid colorways. All pirate stuff. And if you know and you've watched when I was talking about the dove dress, I love me some pirates. So what sold me on Christine's yarn was honestly the logo. But the yarn, now that I am in contact with it, is also lovely. So she sent me 8 of these. This sweater is going to be a bit of a yarn eater, and it is fingering weight, but I am really into designing in fingering weight right now. And you know what fingering weight looks like. But the yarn, I don't know if it's showing up true to color on camera, but it's a medium gray, but it definitely has some blue and like lilac undertones. Like if I put it against my shirt, I don't know if you can see. It's looking similar. There's definitely, everything in this room has a blue undertone because of this lovely wall we're going to get rid of soon. But it's definitely got a purpley bluey hue in the background of it. And what it actually reminds me of, if you're familiar with Russian blue cats, our cats are half Russian blue. They're actually all black because their father was a wanderer. I don't know who he was, but the mom's a Russian blue. And this is definitely the color of those cats. So that's what it reminds me of. It's called Ghost Ship. Love it all. So this is going to be an oversized sweater with, we have many a swatch here, with this motif. Looks familiar from the Forgotten Lore. This stitch part's a little different, but this puff stitch cluster running down the middle is going to be in the center. Like holding that up helps you visualize the sweater. Going to be down the center of the sweater, and there's going to be some other cool detailing. It's going to be an oversized fit. I'm shooting for something around a fit of like a weekender, which is a knit pattern. So just about 10 to 12 inches of positive ease, I'm thinking. I haven't done all of the math up yet. I had done initial math when I sent her the request, and I had actually swatched in the different maker's yarn that was a similar base. But yeah, I've just been playing around trying to figure out which gauge I want to be using. I have another swatch blocking. And the back panel I think is going to be, I don't know, we're thinking about it. So it's coming. I'm going to work on the math probably the next couple days and get that worked up. My goal is to have, not the pattern released, but the pattern done so I can put it on my body and wear it and do a Tell Me About Your Rhinebeck Sweater video for Christy Glass Knits. Rhinebeck is a big knit festival that usually happens in New York. It is not happening for obvious reasons. 2020, but she's doing, usually she does a Tell Me About Your Rhinebeck sweater, and she stands at Rhinebeck, I've never been, holding up a sign, and people come and talk about their sweater and the designer and the yarn and why they love it and all that stuff, just flaunt their fancy yarn wares. But this year she's doing a virtual one, so she's having people submit videos, and I think it would be really cool because crochet is very underrepresented at the Rhinebeck. It's not called the Rhinebeck. But I would love to talk about that design, having it on my person. So I need to whip that out in the next, I think I have exactly a month from when she has the video deadline. So I think I can make her sweater in a month. We shall see. But Christine sent me all of those, and then she also sent, and I'm not sure if I'm going to keep them or throw them in a giveaway pile, but she sent me a magnet with her logo. I already have a sticker on my laptop in the same one. Also have this sticker with orange, but this one's holographic. A little yarn love, and then this is just like her little postcard that comes in the package, and I love it. I love it so much. And she spells yarn with lots of A's, like arg, or ba, or both. No, lots of R's, like arg. I just love him. He's so great. I need to give him a name. So I have, they're all the same color. So I'm not going to show them all to you, but lots and lots of that. And I'm very excited to get started on the design because it has been waiting for months. Months and months and months and months. Definitely probably going to be even November would be generous because I'm going to need testers in a range of sizes to knock out a oversized fingering weight sweater. End of 2020 for sure, the sweater will be done, but it's going to take a little bit to get written and tested. Tea time! Alright, let me move some of this stuff. Other whips. We're moving on to the other whips. I have two more. That's a lie. I have one more. This is not a design. I am not writing a pattern for this because it's foolishness. But I remember a couple episodes back, I did not make this sweater. Forever 21 made this sweater. I thrifted it. Oh, I sneak peeked you. There was a hole in one of my favorite sweaters. And I don't typically shop at Forever 21, but I think I got this in a... Is there another hole? Oh no, that's just a snag. It wants to be a hole sweater. You know, Forever 21 isn't known for its longevity and quality. But there was a little hole in the front, and I couldn't really sew it up without it being super obvious. I didn't want to get rid of it because I still really love this color. It's like my favorite red. So I made a window pocket in a granny square type shape with some picot edging. The yarn is, the main granny square is Knits for Comfort in, I think it was like Fireside Cider and Spice or something like that. I'm not sure if she's still currently dyeing. I know she had a baby recently, but she's a Connecticut local dyer. And then edging is I Could Live in Hope by Megs & Co Yarn, who my next collab is with. There'll be more rainbow. I had a real hard time. I pinned this, but it is not exactly straight on there. Here's this pulling it weird. Not exactly straight on there, but I think it'll do the job. The hole was like right there, so I sewed up the hole sloppily. Can you see it? Yeah, you can. Sort of. Sewed up the hole, put the pocket over. Non-functional. It's definitely heavier than it's a very lightweight sweater, so the pocket's a little bit heavy. I'm not going to put anything in it, obviously. But I thought it would just rescue the sweater for a little bit and get a little more wear out of it. What's it called? Functional? Not functional mending. Visible mending? Artful mending? I don't know. But I fixed it, and I kind of like it. I don't know if it's going to match with as many things, but yarn matches with everything, right? So, yeah, it's just a granny square, and I kind of made it pocket shaped by using a smaller hook on the bottom and a larger hook on the top. Yarn Punk. I need to post a picture of that. Get me on that Yarn Punk feed. Alright, let me get my sweater out of the way. I have two other whips. They are both knit, and they are both for my child. What I'll show you first. I'll show you this. This is the leftover yarn from the cowl that is nonsense named, or not named yet. These are going to be some leg warmers. Rainbow! They're going to be like rainbow bright, guys. I love them. Rainbow just makes me really giddy. I'm sorry if you're not as giddy about that and you're like, good gracious, that's gaudy, Bella. I love it, and it's going to be so cute on little chunk and toddler legs. So these are just basic 2x2 rib. Again, no pattern because who needs a pattern? It's 2x2 rib. I believe I cast on 52 stitches on US size 1.5. No, US size 1.5. They labeled, they're so tiny. 2.5 millimeters. Oh, I messed up the millimeterage. So obviously these are going to be in rainbow order. And I'm just doing, I did 10 rows of the gray on the, I guess you could call it the cuff, but it's all kind of just one big leg. It's not going to have a foot or anything. It's just going to be a leg warmer to wear over leggings and stuff and such with boots. Oh my goodness. So cute. And then I'm doing 15 rows of the various rainbow colors. I just wish that green was a little darker. It's too limey. Other than that, these colors are perfect. And I love, you can see it better in this than you could in the cowl. The Tweety bits are really fun rainbow colors too. Like there's all this purple and the orange. I really love it. So gonna make obviously 2 matching ones of these. Super simple and a good mindless in between because I'm doing a bunch of pattern math right now. So I need to pick it up and not think about it project. I probably could have made them slightly larger, and they don't have nylon and they're not super washed, so they're probably not going to stretch that much, but she'll definitely get a wear out of them for this fall. The ones that I made her last year were DK weight, and I only did an eensy bit of ribbing at the top, and then the rest was stockinette, and they still fit, but they get very saggy because the ribbing isn't really supporting them, particularly with like the full motion that is a toddler. So yeah, so you can still wear them, but they're not as functional. So hopefully these will stay up a little better. They're definitely woolly, but I think over jeans or pants she'll be fine. Hopefully they don't make her itchy. I just don't think it could be on her neck. I considered making a matching cowl on her neck, and then I was like, I'm giving the cowl to Emily anyway, and it's scratchy. So it'll be fine in sock format, leg warmer format. They're so happy. Look how happy this is. I love stripes. I love it. So I have bunches of this left still. Like I could make myself leg warmers at this point. Like I said, you're not going to need a ton of yarn for the main colors in the cowl. There's just whole bunches left. Okay, so that is a random knitting whip. Keep my stuff in. Oh boy, just threw a stitch marker. Okay. Then the only other whip I have going right now is the infamous, not infamous as in I've talked about it before, but as in everyone on the internet has talked about it, at least in the knitting realm, a flax sweater by Tin Can Knits. Also for my daughter. I'm trying to find the front and back and just remember there isn't one. So this isn't done yet. I gotta do the sleeves still, but this is gonna be a flax. The flax comes, it is a free pattern by Tin Can Knits. They are very good beginner patterns, and it comes in worsted and fingering weight. So this is the worsted one. Couple modifications, but not really. I'm going to do a rolled collar, so that's why it looks like a turtleneck right now. I'm going to roll that in, tack it down. There is no short row shaping in this pattern. If I was making it for myself, I probably would have figured out how to do some short rows in the back, but for my toddler, I think it'll be fine. And the yarn that I'm using, I actually have this in stash. She destroyed this tag. But this is the Hook Nook small stuff. This is an acrylic yarn sold at Joann. I think you can also get it. Is Knit Picks carrying it now? Lovecraft? Somebody's carrying it now. But this is Jessica Carey of the Hook Nooks yarn. This is her DK weight, and it's 100% acrylic, like I said, and the color is Green Thumb. This is the color that I wish was in the rainbow sequence. Like it's this green. It's mossy, foresty, rich green. I'm not sure that this is my daughter's color. I think it'll look cute on her, but she doesn't have a lot of like this in her wardrobe, but I think with all of like her mustard yellow bows and whatnot, and with her rainbow leg warmers, it's gonna be great. So it's a little bit oversized. I made the size, again, didn't gauge swatch like on the last sweater. Made the size, it's a worsted weight pattern. Made it in DK. I think I made the size 4-6, but my gauge was smaller, so it's closer to the 2 to 4. Whatever. It's going to fit great. It looks super cute on her. I just need to do the sleeves, and I do not love magic loop. I really need to get myself a short set of Chiaogu so I can not magic loop things. Because I don't love magic loop, and I don't even have DPNs in different sizes. I have like one set of DPNs, and I loathe them. So, those are my whips, guys. I think, yeah, that's pretty much what I have to talk about for yarn content. We're almost to the giveaway. I'll talk about that in just a little bit. But one more thing, and this is going to be in a future video. That was loud, I'm sorry. Future video as well. 2 future videos, actually. But my ball winder yarn skein ball winder broke. I have the Knit Picks one. If you've watched any reviews on the internet, or read any reviews, or know anyone who has yarn, you know that this is the cheap version. I think this one's around like 25 bucks, maybe less, $19.99, something like that. It is lightweight, it is plastic, and it is kind of garbage. There's a lot of things I like Knit Picks for, but I should have never tried to get a budget winder knowing how much I was going to use it. But I did, and I am full of regret. So I filmed a tutorial on how to fix this, because it is broken. We have sort of fixed it. It has broken multiple times, and I think I bought it in like March of 2019, and it is now September of 2020, so a little bit over a year. And I've used it pretty regularly, but yeah, there's this part comes off, and inside there is this part. Inside this purple part, there is a gear with another gear. That's how gears work. And it is notorious for slipping off of that gear, and it causes your nice beautiful cakes to turn into a lump with like rings like Saturn around it, and it's real bad. So it happened to me back in like maybe May, June, and I fixed it, watched a tutorial, took it apart, clicked it back in, but it's all plastic in there. So having fixed it once, I was like, okay, we're good to go. I know how to fix it now. Broke again last week or so when I was trying to wind up Christine's yarn for the sweater, and immediately noticed that it was doing the Saturn ring scary cake again. So I immediately stopped because I knew that it was real bad last time, and I had to untangle indie dyed yarn. It was bad. That had been sent to me to make a sample for somebody, so I needed the yarn. But when we took it off this time and tried to loosen the gear to click it back in, we're trying to unscrew this here, and the screw inside was completely stripped. So we could not get the screw out or even loose to click the gear back in. So I was filming a tutorial, and I think there's like, we're going to speed it up obviously, but I think there's like a 15 to 20 minute section of me trying to get that off. And then I like left the room, and my husband was messing with it for a really long time. I was holding it, he was unscrewing, it was, yeah. Eventually he just forced it in there. We didn't unscrew it, but he was able to push the gear back far enough that the other gear clicked back in. But at this point I would not put yarn back on it because I am terrified. So there will be a tutorial on how to fix it if you need to temporarily fix yours, but I in no way recommend this as a purchase. But I got a new ball winder. That's what that whole rant was about. Can you even see me unboxing? I have a box. I'm going to take it out of the box. New ball winder. I had polled on Instagram for what you guys' recommendations were. And with the exception of one person who said a luxury, I think it's Fiber Artist Supply Co. that makes like hand lathed fancy wooden ones, which are like upwards of, they were like $150 to close to like $300 depending on how fancy you got. And I'm not that fancy. And I'm sure it is beautiful and works great. But everybody else said the Stanwood ball winder, which is what I should have gotten in the first place. Totally knew about it and totally cheaped out. Come on, get on out of here. Got this little sack on his head. Okay. Alright. Well, this looks way more complicated. And I should have thrown it on a scale for you, but I can tell you that this probably weighs, let's say on the box how much it weighs. I know that this is the larger of the two Stanwoods. I think there's a 4 ounce, and this is the, can wind up to 10 ounces. I didn't put this part on, but there's obviously a top piece. This is much bigger than this, much heavier, because this part is metal, and whatever this plastic is a way denser, like composite-y looking plastic, versus this, I could break it with a toothpick plastic. This is turning into a mini review. There's going to be a real review. But basically, I have not used it yet, so I cannot fully review it, but you people of the internet have said that the Stanwood is the way to go. This one was about $80, I believe. 75-ish, something like that. I got it off Amazon. I'll drop the link down below if you do want it, but I'm going to be doing a full review once I use it for a little bit. But this gear here is like 80 times the size of the Knit Picks one. The Knit Picks gear was about this size, this screw, with like something this size on it. So yeah, no duh, it slipped off. Do people say no duh? No, they don't. This is so heavy. in the actual review, I'll be sure to weigh it. But so heavy, so nice. This is click in here? But oh, this removes. Okay, I see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Much better, much nicer. And this should last me hopefully the rest of my fiber career. I would hope, because she's sturdy. That doesn't really need to go back in there. You can go in the box. So I'm very excited about this. It's very awkward to hold up and talk to you about, but it clips to a tabletop and winds a heck of a lot of yarn. So it has instructions with it. I'm going to probably go watch a couple videos just to make sure that I'm clear on how to use it, because it's slightly different, because the Knit Picks one, the metal part doesn't move, just the this guy orbits around, spins around. So I'm going to double check that I know what I'm doing before I ruin Christine's yarn. I'll probably practice with some scrap worsted or something, and then I will wind me up some beautiful cakes. This goes so much smoother. The Knit Picks one always felt like it was jumping and skipping and was going to like leap off of my table. This is not like that. It's got a heavy metal clamp and it's going to be awesome. So stay tuned. Once I use it a little bit, I will put up a review. And if your Knit Picks ball winder is broken, I will have that for you as well, so you can fix it temporarily and then buy yourself a stand wood. So the time has come to talk about giveaway winners. Oh, also, lockdown blanket, totally neglected it. So I'm like 4 weeks behind now. 3 weeks, a lot of weeks. I don't know, I'm kind of mad at it. But we're not going to talk about that now. We're going to talk about giveaway winners. So I have already drawn a winner, but I'm going to show you what this winner is getting. This again was in celebration of my 1K mark on YouTube. You're getting this skein called Monday's Attitude of fingering weight yarn from Sassy Black Yarns. And these are all, other than, I'll tell you which, but these are all Connecticut local makers. This one needs a little reskein. It's getting wild on the bottom. I'll pretty it up for you. But this is from Cup of Tea yarn, and this is called Sad Songs. I kind of like how the names have like a 2020 feel to them. Monday's Attitude and Sad Songs, yeah. This one's naturally dyed. It is also a sock yarn, fingering weight. High twist. I really want to get more of this base. This yarn is incredible. So she dyes these naturally, local to me. And then I have this pouch that kind of matches with those yarns from Within Creative. Really pretty. It's got contrasty purple fabric on the inside. So you're getting that. And then you're getting these 3 stickers from Block 21 Prints. Let's create a bumper sticker or for a laptop. Buy handmade, make an artist happy. And we can make it with this Rosie the Riveter-esque maker on it. And Sarah also does t-shirts and stuff, so check out her shop. Check out all of these shops. They're in the show notes. And then I'm throwing in, and this sticker, I forgot. There's 4 stickers, also from Sarah. And then I am throwing in this Yarn is a Lifestyle notebook. This is just from Hobby Lobby, and it's got just this little, it's like a yarn journal. Keep track of your projects. And then a couple enamel pins, also from the Hoblob. Is that glary? Kind of. You can see them. So that is the prize package, and I'm going to do my best to announce the winner's name correctly. But I have already drawn through a random YouTube number picker thing. The winner is, insert drum roll, Gretchen Kuchler. Not sure if I said that right, but we're going to put it on the screen in case there was any other Gretchens who were in question here. Gretchen, maybe Kuchler. And she had commented that she was really loving sock yarns lately at fingering weight. So I'm super excited to send you these, Gretchen. And she also said that she loves local yarns. I'm not sure where she's out of, but these yarns are local to me. She said she's really big on supporting local shops. So these are local Connecticut yarns, sock yarns. So I hope you really enjoy those, Gretchen. I'm going to need you to get in contact with me either through my email, bellascustomcrochets@gmail.com will do the trick. And if that doesn't work, you can find me on Instagram as well, bellas_custom_crochets. So you're going to have, I should have checked the date. Today is Tuesday. Oh, I have a calendar. I'm going to need you to get in contact with me by the time I film episode 18. So if today is the 8th, I'll be filming on the 22nd of September, more or less. So if I do not hear from you by then, Gretchen, I will have to choose another winner. So please get in contact with me. Let me know your address, where I can send those to you at, and if you're in the US, shipping's on me. So I'm very excited about my first giveaway, and I hope to do lots more. I already have a little stash going of things that I'm going to set aside for other exciting moments. And yeah, I want to give back to you guys for being here and listening to me ramble and supporting my designs and just this whole thing I got going on here. I appreciate y'all. So Gretchen, or whoever gets to them after Gretchen. Gretchen, you're going to come through. Don't worry. I believe in you. You got this, Gretchen. I hope you love those. So that's where I'm going to wrap up, I think. Yeah, I talked about everything. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for loving the shawl pattern release. Thank you for supporting my designs in general. I really, really appreciate it. I am so glad that you sit here and spend a little bit of time with me. I hope that you were crocheting or knitting or sipping on something delightful, and yeah, I like hanging out with you guys. Eventually, I'd love to do some lives and some other stuff here on YouTube, but for now, this podcast is roughly every other week, and I throw up something else in between, generally on Fridays. Unless the pattern drop, which was on Monday last time. We're playing around. We're still figuring it out. It's okay. But yes, I appreciate you being here, and yeah, thanks for making my Maker Mama Boss Lady dreams come true. I hope you guys are making something wonderful and have lots of yarn and happiness in your life. Happy making, my friends. Bye.